Are you a wanderer at heart? Would you like to travel all over America for the rest of your life in solitude and with only a few choice possessions? Giovanni Maria de Agostini, or the Hermit, spent almost 40 years of his life traveling. One thing I found incredibly satisfying about this climb I most recently took up to the top of Hermit's Peak was the view once you got up there. Not all trails have a view like this. You can climb high into the mountains and never get a view like this. But when you get up to the top here, it's just like a sheer drop off and you can just see for miles and miles. I love that. Hermit's Peak is a relatively short drive up a winding mountain road just northwest of Las Vegas, New Mexico, and there's a picture of it from far off. If y'all are looking for some kind of uphill workout that might also suffice as a spiritual pilgrimage, I might suggest this trek up to Hermit's Peak. For all y'all living in this New Mexico area and beyond, shoot, I'll even take it with you again. Let's do it. One way I would describe the mystical journey is that as we embrace uncertainty, as we surrender our certitude, as we relinquish our control, and this sense that I know, we come into this greatest of certainty about the one thing that can be known, which can't really be called a thing at all. Great certitude in the formless, that which we have difficulty describing. And as one who has followed the cosmic teachings of the great one that we call Jesus, the Son of God, Son of Man, well, it's his teachings that took me on that journey. And he also told me that life is going to hurt like hell. When you bring your best love, you very well may be overlooked, or at least to bring your greatest love, you're going to have to discover something and do this great shadow work. You're going to have to take up your cross. You're going to have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. And those descriptions, well, they seem to add up. They seem to be a clear description of what life here is like, has been like for me. There's no amount of positive talk that's going to get you around the need to go through these painful initiation ceremonies. Even if you just look at the basic nature of existence in this binary plane of death and life, each one of us must face this thing that we call death. Turns out, death is an illusion. It's more like a transition or a rebirth into another life. And yes, there's some kind of sense of certainty that I now experience. In the willingness to participate in that whole story as it unfolds in my life. This is the view from the precipice down to where the Hermit's Cave is. Now, I climbed down there to where that cross is. I didn't find the cave, and that's why I want one of y'all to go with me sometime. So maybe together we might be able to find that or something. Or at least I would have somebody there up top just in case something terrible happened. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it was right there. I don't know. But I guess that's the cool thing about it. It's an adventure. This guy, El Hermitaño, the hermit, he lived up there. I have other videos that I made a year and a half ago about the other place that he lived, which is outside of Las Cruces. Pentatonic scales. Pentatonic scales are to music like that Great Spirit is to every archetypal face that we may see as it presents itself in this world. Pentatonic scales are to world music as sacred texts of the world's religions are to love. An interval is the harmonic relationship between two frequencies. You are now listening to me as I sing from this rock shelter which overlooks the Mesilla Valley, Las Cruces, New Mexico. I am certainly not the first one to sing in this cave. Ancient artifacts surrounding these rock structures show that indigenous Americans were here. Spirit rise up, spirit rise up, spirit rise up in the people, yeah. Spirit rise up, spirit rise up, spirit rise up in. Are you a wanderer at heart? Would you like to travel all over America for the rest of your life in solitude and with only a few choice possessions? Giovanni Maria de Agostini, or the Hermit, spent almost 40 years of his life traveling. He pursued the life of asceticism, the spiritual practice of abstaining from all worldly comforts. He left Italy, his birthplace, to travel in Europe for a few years. Then he set sail for South America and never returned. The Hermit traveled from country to country throughout the Americas, settling in the mountains where he gained a following, seeking his spiritual teachings. He even wandered all the way up to Canada, though the cold winter and lack of interest in his teachings cut his stay short. Indigenous Americans used this cave as shelter, and also a man known as El Hermitaño lived here. He told his friends down in Mesilla, he said, "I will light a fire for you to see every Friday night. If I do not light that fire, you know that I have perished." There have been prayers prayed in this cave, actions taken, shelter had by indigenous people, and who knows who. I'm interested. It looks like people have been carving it out for some time too. I wonder what might have been going on here between El Hermitaño's stay and now.